Now, let's take you to Cape Town, where the protest action that is led by the EFF is also in full swing. You'll remember the city secured an interdict against any possible form of violence and the closing down of businesses today. Our senior reporter, Aviwe Mtila, brings us to speed with events in the mother city.
These are the EFF members, now joined by some of the unions on the ground, of course, in song, as they say that this is not the official number. There is at least 50 or so members on the ground here, and they're saying that the protest itself hasn't started, as they're still waiting for more people to come in. I'm going to try and get a word with one or two of them, just to get an understanding of what's happening on the ground and get clearer direction. You're from Saftu, sir, but maybe tell us what the issues are here on the ground.
Good afternoon to you and the viewers to eNCA. Look, it's crystal clear that most people of this country are vulnerable in terms of the load shedding, the electricity, in terms of the crime. And in general perspective, you see people who are not attended to by our national government. And we're grieving. The number of people that you see out there is few people. However, if you drive towards any route, you will see that a lot of people did not return to work, they didn't go to work. It's a huge victory towards the struggle of our people.
In terms of the numbers, you mentioned a lot of people that haven't gone to work. It seems like there's a heavier police contingency than there are protesters on the ground. Would you say that's a victory on your part still?
Yes, it is. However, we are concerned about what is actually happening, because it cannot be correct that today, after we've called for this protest, you see police visibility each and every place. And it's an insult to our people, because we want to make sure that our people are safe. But the safety of our people is not there, because whenever the operation is normally, you will see a lot of people that are being victimized, killed, stabbed and so forth. But today, because there's this protest, you see a lot of police being visible all around. It's an insult to our people. I think it's right time that our people raise their hand and say, we'll stop this because we've got powers and energy to do this. But under these circumstances, it's quite difficult.
Let me bring you in, Sissy, just to get your understanding of the struggles on the ground. You on the ground, part of the protesters here. What are the key issues that you want to address?
Okokuqala mhlekazi wami sikhalazela indima ye-load shedding. It's too much indima ye-load shedding because siyamoshakalelwa zizinto zethu ezisithengile ezindlini and uRamaphosa akanokwazi ukuzibhadala. Okwesibini sikhalazela into uRamaphosa abe usahleli pha esihlalweni kodwa enezinto azenzile ezirongo ezingamelanga into ukuba uyazenza. Okwesithathu sikhalazela into ukuba ngaba amapolisa, because of today we are protest and okwesibini amapolisa bokufanele into ukuba asezilokishini busy defender i-crime le is too much pha elokishini, but instead of that balapha nathi kodwa thina silwela nabo ekugqibeleni. Enkosi.
You're saying the police visibility here is a concern, Maseko, suggesting that they should be out in the townships actually preventing crime, but instead they're here guiding these protesters as they're on the journey. Mentioning, of course, the issues around load shedding as well, and the president. And Domkulu, let me bring you in quickly to get your understanding, and especially when you see the number of police on the ground. Will you achieve what you want to achieve with this protest?
Yeah, well, it will be achieved, Mhlekazi. It will be achieved. Do not be intimidated by the low turnout of the protesters. Well, remember, this is not a march. This is a protest. So people are protesting in every area of the society where they find themselves in. So, and there is still a number of people whom we are still expecting to turn up today into this protest. But over and above that, what is important is that people are showing that demonstration towards the government, their unhappiness with the government of South Africa and how the things are being governed into the country. One is load shedding, and two is the GBV, which have been outlined by the South General Secretary in their statement that was issued, I think it was last week ago.
Okay, thank you very much. Some of the sentiments on the ground, Maseko, as you see, economic freedom fighter members on the ground with some of the unions, South African Federation of Trade Unions as well, joining in, and some of their affiliates on the ground here. Of course, they're saying that they're still waiting for more numbers to come on the ground, as they suggest that they will be making their way then from here, heading to Parliament. And of course, what they'll be met with there is a heavy police presence that we've seen on the ground here, not only in Parliament. The City Hall itself is heavily guarded. The airport is heavily guarded, as you heard from the provincial commissioner a bit earlier on, suggesting that the protests have been contained in and around the Western Cape. They've only had 2 arrests in the course of leading up to the protest itself, and they're saying that it will remain this peacefully for the entire duration of the protest that's supposed to be the national shutdown here.